Hey everyone, me Kevin here with a quick update for late on August 3rd. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm a little upset. Anyway, first up, I'm thinking about doing a giveaway, which is making me feel better, and I wanted to see what you all thought about it. I wanted to do some sort of giveaway either on a recorded video, or maybe we even do like a couple live streams a week that are scheduled in public, and we do some kind of raffle giveaway in addition to sort of providing some value, some content. You know, I could Venmo or PayPal money out live or something like that. I want to do that because I want to give back. It makes me really happy to give back to the community, and especially you all who make this channel possible. All of the thousands of you that have been subscribing to the channel, and those of you that come back looking for these updates, I owe it to you, and I want to give back, and I thought, hey, you know, maybe some kind of raffle for those of you who come to a live stream or something like that would be cool. After all, this is what YouTube paid me in July, and that's ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense. Like, it's not even fair. It's stupid in my opinion. Like, it makes no sense at all. So I'm more than happy to give a chunk of that away. I don't need that. That's insane. All right, which by the way, I do have a YouTube course, so if you wanted to get your piece, check out that YouTube course in the link down below, and you could join that as well. Use the coupon code. It is on presale. On the Hill, Democratic leaders and Republican leaders held a grueling 2-hour meeting today that ended around noon. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and the usual Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and Treasury Secretary Mnuchin all discussed the HEROES Act and the HEALS Act, and apparently this time they'd basically put these two acts line by line and reviewed them. That is apparently what the staffers were doing. They put all of the HEROES Act items line by line on sort of an easy outline, and the HEALS Act line by line. Who knows? Maybe they even used the concept map, the flow chart that we've been using on this channel. But honestly, I have to say I'm getting a little bit worried because on Saturday, they had a rough day of 3 hours of negotiations. Today, they had a rough day of 2 hours of negotiations. What's tomorrow going to look like? A 30-minute negotiation with maybe 2 TV commercials and water breaks in the meantime? Come on, folks. Here I am working 15-hour days trying to understand where the heck Mitch McConnell is. Who, Mitch McConnell, by the way, is not even a part of these negotiations, which blows my mind because apparently he's the guy who authored the HEALS Act, and yet he's not even here. This is leading some to wonder if Mitch McConnell is napping and we need to send the protesters again to chant, "Wake up Mitch," outside his house, like people were actually doing, or people are wondering, did Mitch McConnell take an early recess? Anyway, all this really surprises me. But what also surprises me is that we only got Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi giving us updates today. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi gave us updates and said that they're closing in on their top priorities, and now they're mostly talking about kids and schools. And we already know that the top priorities right now are stimulus checks, $1,200 for filers, $500 for dependents. The unemployment extension, sounds like they're closing in on the unemployment extension figure. We don't have details, of course not. An eviction ban, money for school and children, and money for testing, tracing, and treatment. That seems to be a big subject of the discussion, in addition to money for states. Donald Trump ranted about, quote, "Crazy Nancy" on Twitter, suggesting that Democrats want to bail out states, and that's because Republicans don't want to provide money to states. Remember, though, states can't get money from the money printer. Only the federal government can get money from the money printer, that is the Federal Reserve. So states don't have that privilege. So states who are funding all these budget shortfalls and having to lay off people like, you know, firefighters and first responders and, health and safety department workers because they don't have enough money because of the pandemic, well, I mean, in all fairness, they are kind of running out of money. Now, in fairness to Republicans, these states also have a lot of their budgets that go to what are called unfunded pension liabilities. And, it's been a common argument for Republicans to say that's not fair, that, maybe you guys should stop having so much debt and we wouldn't have to bail you out. Now, Chuck Schumer also has a priority of getting money for the food stamp program, which Republicans are countering on. They're also both looking at how to provide the proper guidance and proper funding for defeating the virus. Both sides seem to see defeating the virus as the easiest way to open up the soonest and get everything back to normal. Now, what really blew my mind is after Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer spoke, the Democrats, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin and Mark Meadows just walked out. They didn't speak with reporters. They just left, which honestly makes me wonder if they got beat up so badly by Democrats that they felt too crappy to talk to reporters. I don't know. Or maybe it's the other. Maybe they think they're winning. Who knows? It just seems odd because usually Mnuchin and Meadows like talking to reporters, or at least they make it seem that way. Earlier today, we also heard Donald Trump talk about the idea of issuing an executive order to end payroll taxes immediately, and that this is possible. The president can do that, but Congress would have to forgive those payments. Otherwise, people would still owe them. This did raise a lot of questions in the comments. A lot of you are wondering how this affects you if you're employed versus not employed, like you're self-employed. So how does this affect you if you're employed versus self-employed? That's the correct way to put it. So here's how it affects you. If you're an employee, it means you take home about $7.50 more for every $100 you make. If you are self-employed, you would save that same approximately $7.50, potentially as high as $15 for every $100, depends how they word it, if you're self-employed. And this is because when you pay your taxes as a self-employed individual, you pay something called a self-employment tax. Those are both parts of the payroll tax. That's why self-employed people could benefit between $7.50 to $15 for every $100 you earn. And you would see that either when you pay your quarterly taxes or when you file your tax return next year. Of course, this is all just talk and it might not happen. And so if this stresses you out, make sure to get your life insurance in as little as 5 minutes and your 2 free stocks with Webull. That's all that happened today, which is not a lot. This actually pisses me off. Like seriously, today was supposed to be productive. We did not get a lot of information today. And I'm not very happy about that. Classic government. And the fact that Mnuchin and Mark Meadows wouldn't even talk to reporters? Whatever, I'm done.